It's time now for a look latest in local news. In the news, the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce Eggs and Issues breakfast set for today at the Pine Forest Country Club, as our local state representatives will be giving a preview of what we can expect with the upcoming legislative session, which is set to begin in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. On hand today is State Senator Blake Tillery, along with State Representative Stephen Meeks and Bill Werkheiser. WIFO-FM will be on hand, bring you their comments on Friday's newscast and next week here on the local news. After the Eggs and Issues, the representatives will make their way down to the 169 overpass for the dedication of that overpass, which will be named after the late Billy Clinton. All that taking place today here in Wayne County. It's now official. Former Emergency Management Director and recent Chief Deputy under Sheriff John Carter Donnie Ray is now once again the full-time Emergency Management Director and the new 911 Coordinator. In a press release, Donnie Ray states, quote, "After long discussions with my family and friends, I felt like this was the best decision for me and my family. I'm anxious to return to this position and to make the Wayne County Emergency Agency and E911 the best agencies in the state." Once again, as we've been reporting, this has been in the works for several weeks as the new sheriff in town, Chuck Mosley, campaigned on bringing Mike Hargrove in as his chief deputy. At Monday's commissioners meeting, the county commissioners met an executive session, made a couple of decisions that helped make this transition move smoothly. They also now have listed the chief deputy and jail administrator as at-will positions, also separated the EMS and EMA, combined EMA with 911 center. What's interesting is that the E911 coordinator answers to and is under the umbrella of the Wayne County Sheriff. The EMA director is under the direction of the county administrator, so it's two positions with two different bosses. Former EMA director Richard Johnson gladly went back to simply being with the ambulance service, stepped away from the emergency management position where he was serving as director. So again, it all goes smoothly. The sheriff gets his pick for chief deputy, Mike Hargrove. Sheriff Carter's chief deputy, Donnie Ray, goes back to being the emergency management director and also heads up the E911 center. And former emergency management director Richard Johnson goes back to simply keeping his position with EMS. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In the state of Georgia, the two Senate runoffs were won by both Democratic challengers as Raphael Warnock defeated Kelly Loeffler and John Ossoff declared the winner on Wednesday afternoon over incumbent David Perdue. Ossoff and Warnock's wins were by larger margins than Biden's win over President Trump back in November. Now the Republican has conceded the election at this point, pointing to thousands of military overseas ballots. They're still withstanding, but tens of thousands of other votes remain outstanding in heavily Democratic parts of Metro Atlanta and Savannah. Kelly Loeffler on Wednesday abandoned her plan to challenge Georgia's electoral results after the violence that broke out on Wednesday in Washington, D.C. Loeffler said, quote, "The events that transpired have forced me to reconsider, and I cannot now in good conscience object to the certification of these elections. The violence, the lawlessness, and siege of the halls of Congress are abhorrent and stand as a direct attack on what my objections were intended to protect, the sanctity of the American democratic process," end quote. Georgia's voting system manager Gabriel Sterling applauded Loeffler's move in her remarks, stating, quote, "Thank you, Senator Loeffler. You have done the right thing." We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes and news. Again, a reminder, the county commissioners met Monday, and at the meeting they voted 3-2 to require those that visit any county office to please wear a mask for your safety and the safety of those in the offices. And Commissioner James Thomas brought this up under items with commissioners at Monday's meeting and was able to motion and get a second. And again, it was voted on 3-2, a favorable 3-2 vote. Commissioners Ralph Hickox and Kevin McCrary voted against the motion, but again, it passed 3-2. So if you're going into one of the county offices here in Wayne County, please be advised that the new policy, they ask that you wear a mask in county government buildings here in Wayne County. Finally, news, again, Wayne County saw a record turnout for the runoff on Tuesday. Here in Wayne County, 60% of the registered voters took the time to vote in the two important runoffs for the U.S. Senate. Of the 18,564 registered voters in Wayne County, 11,211 voted in the runoffs, and in the Senate runoffs, the winners in Wayne County, and David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler won. David Perdue totaled 8,710 votes to his opponent John Ossoff's 2,482, and Kelly Loeffler totaled 8,727 votes to Raphael Warnock's 2,465 votes here in Wayne County. Had a record turnout in Wayne County, 60% of the registered voters taking the time to vote in the two runoffs. We'll be back. So that's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morganson, have a great day.
And local news right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup.